Okay, I just want to talk to you about some of the technology I use in my training when working with surfers who want to be better. Technology, besides the video camera and viewing video footage, I also do reporting through making up presentations for surfers using sports analysis software. In my case, I use Silicon Coach, but there's other programs like Dartfish. But the reason why I use this is because what I want to do is when I work with surfers, I'm interested in working with them on the beach, but then when they leave me, I'm interested in them being able to recall and focus on the areas of training that they need to work on. And I just wanted to go over some of the footage that's here. You'll see here on the left that there's all this ability for me to manipulate or to draw. For instance, I can draw diagrams. I can highlight an area by putting a circle around it. I can put a vertical line or a horizontal line if I want to show orientation or how flat or how vertical a particular maneuver was. I can also take a snapshot of whatever I want to see. The other things I can do is I can do timing. So here I've got a stopwatch and I can time things just by manipulating the vision, and that can give feedback in some maneuvers that we do. So it's a very powerful program, but the thing is then you can make movies out of it, and from those movies you can give that to the surfer and then they can use it at a home beach as if something like a surrogate coach at the home beach, or they can take it back to their coach at the home beach, and then that can be shared knowledge between the surfer and their own personal coach. But for those who haven't got a coach, this is a good option to develop and maintain permanent change in surfing performances. The thing I just wanted to show you was some of the ways I use it. In this case, we've got a surfer. You can see he paddles for the wave, he takes off on the wave, and he takes off too deep, and it's a closeout. Well, in this case, it's too deep. And in this particular surfer's case, it's one where he does that too often. And what I want to do is remind him the fact that waves have value, and with that value come that you need to take off on a wave. And what I want to do is focusing him on the fact that you only take off on a wave that allows you to do an opening manoeuvre, and preferably a wave that allows you to do an opening combination. So what I do is I show him an example of what he's doing, and then I show an example of what he should be doing. And so we're not talking about manoeuvres here, we're talking about decisions. The decision of taking off on waves that have no value or no potential. So the one on the left, that's the mistake that I'm seeing regularly. And the one on the right is to say, this is what you should be doing. Learn to say no to waves that don't allow you to do manoeuvres or manoeuvre combinations. And if you do that, then you become a better surfer because you're making better decisions when in the water. I can use the technology to do things like just reminding people about some of the basic errors in surfing. In this case, it's all about the standing action. So see back foot there, front foot, and then he's up and running. What I would do here is go, well, I'd compare him to this surfer where both feet pretty well hit the board together, and then they're up and surfing and developing their speed. And then I can compare it here just to remind the surfer that, so the surfer who gets up fast, I can remind them that and show them that because the surfer on the right is up faster, they're up and surfing in a more effective way, they're generating the speed more effectively, simply because their standing action is faster, and it's a conviction, if you like, for the surfer that something they need to work on, and if they work on that, that has profound implications for the rest of their surfing because they have a much more positive entry into the wave. Obviously, this is a great tool to use when trying to rectify technique errors, and you can see here the surfer comes around, does the manoeuvre, but the manoeuvre isn't a strong manoeuvre, it's a hesitant manoeuvre, and the problem here is that the surfer comes around and puts the hand on the wave face, which in turn digs the nose of the board just there, which causes the surfer to do a lesser manoeuvre than could have been performed at that point. What they could be doing is this type of snap, backhand snap, where you go right to the top of the wave and you do the snap so that the board whips around in an effective and strong manner where the speed is maintained. And the difference here is obvious when you split screen the footage. You can see the surfer on the left puts the hand down. The surfer on the right actually doesn't. He puts the hand, he rotates the arm behind his back, and what that does, that allows then the hips to twist as well. See the hips twisting there on the right, and that gives him much more power as he comes through. The split screen technology here, it shows obviously where the issue is, and if the surfer can learn to do this action, the action is to look back with the twisting of the arm and the upper body in that direction, well then the surfer will improve their surfing because of that change in technique. So again, making a video of this comparison, if you like, is really a profound way of maintaining focus and keeping the surfer on track to improve this skill. Even though there's only a small change from putting the hand down to putting a rotational action like the surfer on the right, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of concentration to do that. But once you understand it and you're focused on it, it's a relatively easy technique to get. And finally, another way I use this technology is to get people thinking about more advanced skills in surfing. So in this case, you'll see the surfer comes down. There's a section here that he could float this section if you like, but this surfer decides to go through this section and goes for the easier or softer manoeuvre further down the line. Now, for a competitive surfer or a surfer who's developing, there's a couple of things here. One thing is have they got the confidence to throw themselves up into this section here? Do they have the technique to do a backhand floater in that case? And are they prepared to commit themselves more effectively on the waves they ride? Obviously, if a surfer can take off here and attack that section, they are a better surfer and they display more skill because of that. So what I do here is I give an example. It may not be exactly the same type of wave, but what it does, it shows a surfer different commitment and different decisions. Here's an ex-WCT surfer that doesn't hesitate, and basically what they do is they come off, they take off, and they go straight into the first opportunity they go into the manoeuvre. The next opportunity they go without hesitation, and then finally they come around and do the final manoeuvre of the ride. Not only can they do the manoeuvres in this case, but also there's a different attitude here. And this presentation is all about attitude, is that you attack the first section that you can when you can, and you commit, and after your first major manoeuvre of the ride, you go into the next major manoeuvre without hesitation. Using this type of technology, providing presentations for surfers, is an extremely powerful tool that I've been using for the last 8 to 10 years, and the results have been outstanding for my programs, but also for the surfers I train.